remember me?
I don't think you had enough to do in this film. That's my thing. You know, you don't do it. You're doing major action sequences. You're directing this film. It's the lead role. That's a lot to take on.
Yeah, it's...
Why? What was the story? Why did you why was it so important for you?
I think it was kind of a process of not taking no for an answer. You know, I'd come up with the concept of the story. I'd hired someone, and the friend that I'd hired was like, you know, I'm having writer's block with this thing. So I reluctantly kind of got pushed into the co-writer seat, and then I ran with that, and then I actually sent it to Neil Blomkamp, this director I'd worked with before, and me and Neil were kind of talking about it, and he's like, dude, you got to do this. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, it's in you, it's in your fiber, it's you know, every moment, you're kind of acting every scene, and I was like, really? And it took his nudging and belief to put me there, and constantly we just kept adapting to make this film during COVID, during, you know, all of the things that got thrown at us. It was a trial by fire, I guess, yeah.
Nice. Now, we spoke a little bit before about the music. There's the montage scene, you learning to defend yourself and really fight. The drum sequence was absolutely stunning.
Thank you for noticing that.
Yeah, can we talk a little bit about that?
It was crazy. That was our first like pre-shoot section, but I'd always wanted to pay homage to the amazing, like, you know, martial arts films that have the great training sequences, you know, Rocky, Creed, you know, Karate Kid even, but I wanted to do my own version. I think India is so inherently a musical culture, and a very close friend of mine is an Indian classical musician. It's sort of a dying art form in a way, you know, and there's this maestro, they call him Ustad, his name's Zakir Hussain. He toured with Ravi Shankar and the Beatles, and my dream when I penned this was to kind of do a call and answer, like a piece of jazz, or they call a jugalbandi in India, with me on this like dusty rice sack, and this man answering on a tabla, and you know, this kind of drum call and answer happens, and it's like, you know, I didn't want him to say any words. It's like, you know, me and R2-D2 training me, and it's one of the coolest things, like culturally, and it's ferocious by the end of it. But he is a legend. He is one of one, and he came down at over 70 years old. He's just won 3 Grammys. I'm very proud of that moment. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot here. I mean, obviously, I think John Wick has kind of opened the doors for really creating strong action. How did you go through the process of creating the action and working with the stunt
Yeah, I mean, you know, I actually hung out with Chad for a bit, and he was the director of John Wick, and he was really gracious. And I'm just I'm a huge fan of action cinema. You know, everything from Bruce Lee to Jet Li, Jackie Chan, you know, Sammo, then you got the Indonesian guys with Raid and, you know, Iko, and I just love it. And then the Korean cinema. And for me, that's the stuff that flowed out of me the easiest when writing the script, was the most sadistic, weird, violent, like, moments. But it was a hero that didn't have the tools and was very resourceful. And, you know, I wanted it to be very primal and animalistic. So we would fight against the nature of the choreography to try and push a performance in, you know, like, you know, it's sweat, it's drool, it's gritted teeth, it's a cornered animal, you know, and that created the basis of the fights.
Do you remember me now?